The Sunday school lesson for February the 2nd, 2025 is Healing a Man Born Blind. John chapter 9, verses 1 through 17. Welcome, viewers and subscribers, to my channel, The Backstory and More. If you are interested in knowing what happens before each Sunday school lesson, you are at the right place because I will share the backstory, read the lesson text, and offer a brief lesson summary. The backstory takes us to John chapter 8, verses 48 through 59. Jesus' claims about himself. The Jews answered him, "Aren't we right in saying that you are a Samaritan and demon possessed?" "I am not possessed by a demon," said Jesus, "but I honor my Father, and you dishonor me. I am not seeking glory for myself, but there is one who seeks it, and he is the judge. Very truly I tell you, whoever obeys my word will never see death." And this they exclaim, "Now we know that you are demon possessed. Abraham died, and so did the prophets. Yet you say that whoever obeys your word will never taste death. Are you greater than our father Abraham? He died, and so did the prophets. Who do you think you are?" Jesus replied, "If I glorify myself, my glory means nothing. My Father, whom you claim as your God, is the one who glorifies me. Though you do not know him, I know him. If I said I did not, I would be a liar like you. But I do know him and obey his word. Your father Abraham rejoiced at the thought of seeing my day. He saw it and was glad. You are not yet 50 years old," they said to him, "and you have seen Abraham." "Very truly I tell you," Jesus answered, "before Abraham was born, I am." At this, they picked up stones to stone him, but Jesus hid himself, slipping away from the temple grounds. Now, the debate became more contentious, with the leaders repeating a charge that Jesus was demon possessed and adding the insult of calling him a Samaritan. All Jesus had to do to rebuke or to refute the charge of demon possession was to cite his works. The next attack was to try to set Jesus up with a charge of blasphemy. A claim to allow one to never taste death would make Jesus greater than Abraham and the prophets and an equal with God. Jesus did not deny equality with God. He confirmed it. He affirmed that Abraham rejoiced at the thought of seeing my day. God promised that in Abraham all peoples on earth will be blessed. Genesis chapter 12, verse 3. Jesus would fulfill that promise. Acts chapter 3, verse 25. Then Jesus affirmed that he lived before Abraham. In making that affirmation, he claimed for himself the name of God revealed to Moses. I am, Exodus 3 and 13 and verse 14. Jesus' opponents were outraged. Our backstory ends here, and today's lesson begins with the next slide. Verses 1 through 2. And as Jesus passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, "Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" Verses 3 through 5. Jesus answered, "Neither hath this man sinned nor his parents, but that the works of God should be made manifest in him. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world." Verses 6 through 7. When he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground and made clay of the spittle, And he anointed the eyes of the blind man with the clay, and said unto him, Go, wash in the pool of Siloam, which is by interpretation sent. He went his way, therefore, and washed, and came seeing. Verses 8 through 10. The neighbors, therefore, and they which before had seen him that he was blind, said, Is not this he that sat and begged? Some said, This is he. Others said, He is like him. But he said, I am he. Therefore said they unto him, How were thine eyes opened? Verses 11 through 13. He answered and said, A man that is called Jesus made clay and anointed mine eyes, and said unto me, Go to the pool of Siloam and wash. And I went and washed, and I received sight. Then said they unto him, Where is he? He said, I know not. They brought to the Pharisees him that aforetime was blind. Verses 14 through 15. And it was the Sabbath day when Jesus made the clay and opened his eyes. Then again the Pharisees also asked him how he had received his sight. He said unto them, He put clay upon mine eyes, and I washed, and do see. Verse 16. Therefore said some of the Pharisees, This man is not of God, because he keepeth not the Sabbath day. Others said, How can a man that is a sinner do such miracles? And there was a division among them. Verse 17. They said unto the blind man again, What sayest thou of him, that he hath opened thine eyes? He said, He is a prophet. A brief summary. The sixth of Jesus' sign miracles that John recorded continue to build on Jesus' claim to be the light of the world. In healing a man blind from birth, Jesus showed the two possible effects of his light. It can lead people out of darkness or blind those who already claim to see. This division can be seen in the reaction of the Pharisees. Some argued that since Jesus performed a miracle while violating the Sabbath, then his power could not come from God. His light blinded them, but others began to see. The miracle called into question their interpretation of the law. The two divergent lines of logic were clearly drawn. Thank you so very much for watching. Join me soon for the next backstory and more. Stay safe and may God bless.